My name is Richard Osei.
Nana Kumose.
I'm Kendra Jones.
I'm Richard Jones.
My name is Marquise.
And my name is Kiara.
Marcus Brown.
Alicia Brown.
Jeremy Henry.
Lejay Henry.
I'm DeCoven Riggins.
Keitra Riggins.
From Ghana.
And I'm from the South Side.
I'm an East Sider.
And I'm from Oklahoma City.
And I'm from Guthrie, Oklahoma.
Long Branch, New Jersey.
Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
From Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
And I am from New Orleans, Louisiana.
From Oklahoma City.
From Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Nine years.
Almost 4 years now.
Going on 5 years in June.
Good job.
15 years.
15 years. Sounded so excited.
3 years.
3 years now.
9 going on 10 years.
In Ghana as well.
At Sprint Call Center.
Church.
Reach Out Ministries.
Armor, Oklahoma at Blockbuster Video.
Well, we originally met on Facebook.
Downtown Oklahoma City.
He used to play with my brothers, came to our house all the time, was there, but I wasn't the one that he really talked to, but he talked to most of my siblings. He was more or less like the grown up, so I wasn't messing with him. Yeah, but
yeah, because our house is like 4. It's like 3 houses between our house, so it's not that far. You can just walk straight over there.
I think when I finished junior high school, then we got more closer, but it wasn't in that kind of way. It was more or less like friends, teased each other, made fun of you.
I don't remember.
I do remember them.
Okay.
I do remember.
I was browsing around on, I'm not going to say a social media site.
Plenty of fish.
POF. Browsing around, single man. And then I ran across her picture and I was like, she's online. And so I sent her a message and I said, get back to work. And so she was talking about how she was off and I'm like, lucky you, whatever. So we got on the subject of music.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sung her a piece of a Tank song, slowly.
Mm-hmm.
And then her message reply, she sung it back to me. And when I saw that message, I was with my business partner, Corwin. And I was like, dude, she can sing. He was like, yeah, she can sing. I said, man. And so I sent her a message, I was like, you better watch out before I marry you.
And I said, shut up, boy. And now look at me.
Going to Reach Out Ministries.
Working.
We were working together. Co-workers.
We've met at my apartment when her friend was having a photo shoot and I was shooting photography. And, she came over with her friend and I kind of spit game to her, So you got.
Literally walking downtown Oklahoma City. We were both coming around the corner with, she was with a group of her friends. I was with a friend of mine, one of my fraternity brothers. And he actually was her teacher's assistant at her school at the time, so they knew each other. And yeah, we talked that evening. She says I stole her phone number. I didn't really steal it. I told her I was keeping it after my fraternity brother called them to, I don't even remember why he had to call. He needed to ride back to Norman. But I told her I was keeping her number. And she blew me off. And then we met again like a week later after that. And yeah, we've been together ever since that second time we ran into each other.
Yeah, I didn't blow him off. Something came up.
Okay, she blew me off.
And we started talking and I asked a bunch of questions to see, what was going on. It's like, okay, she might be it.
I think I don't like people to waste my time, so I asked him so many specific questions. Sorry, I asked him specific questions. So I think one time I was like, do you want me to wait for you? Because realistically, you are going to the United States and I don't know how a long distance relationship is going to work. Yeah. So I asked him, and then he was silent for a little bit. But then he said, yes, yeah, you can wait for me. And I also look at the way he treated other people. I didn't like people who were mean. So I was very observant whenever we went out on our first date, and even whenever we were interacting, I was very observant with how he treated other people. So I saw that he was very kind. Like even people who were strangers, he would treat them very kindly. So it made me realize that if he was treating those people nice, then he would treat me special. And I also like the way he related with my family members. And I also liked the fact that he loved God, because that was number one thing for me.
And I liked the fact that we had music in common. And he showed me something different that other guys didn't show me. The loving side, the godly side. So like our first date, we hung out all night long.
I impressed her one day. So I think we was at her house and she wanted some ice cream. I'm gonna let you tell this.
Nah, tell it to story.
Okay, so she wants some ice cream. I'm like, okay. I ain't had not $1 in my pocket, honestly, not a solid dollar. I had some change at the house though.
Which was in Midwest City, and we were on the north side.
And literally the gas light was on, but I know I can make it. You know your car. So I ended up driving. We were driving down 23rd, and I want to say as we was passing, coming up on Midwest Boulevard, it was a guy who was on the side of the road. And of course, I'm always been helping people. And I go and help this older gentleman. It was like a 97 Suburban. And he ended up needing to push, so I pushed his car felt like it was like a quarter mile. I just pushed him out of the way and got back in the car, and he gave me some money. I was like, yeah, see, I told you I had some money to get gas and get some ice cream.
Now, a question that I asked him before we went, I said, do you have gas? He said, yeah, I got some gas. I said, oh, okay. Get in the car, gas light is on. But that moment was actually one of the sweetest moments that I ever seen. I took a picture of him because it was an old school Suburban, so he literally pushed it by himself, had his little legs off the ground. He's in the hood. So I'm like, that is the nicest thing that I ever seen anybody do. So then he went and got his change and got $5 out of quarters. Then he went to get him some gas, and then the guy gave him that money. So he was literally by faith because he didn't have that. But then I didn't even eat the ice cream because it had frostbite on it. But
had some ice cream in the freezer.
It was a thought that counted.
I don't think Kiki knew I don't think Kiki knew at first. I think she was somewhat unsure about our relationship. I was the one I would say was pursuing it a lot harder and a lot more seriously than Kiki. I think Kiki was it was getting to the point where I was starting to feel like if I may have to back up from her because she wasn't giving me the reaction or response that I was anticipating. Because I do think it's the man's job to pursue a woman, but I think it's the woman's job to react or respond to that pursuit. And once they're not responding or reacting to that pursuit, then I think it kind of indicates to the man whether or not he should still continue to pursue it or not, based upon her response to the pursuit.
Yes, I concur with that first part. I was unsure about the relationship because of the circumstances, but as we got further into it, I feel like Marquise is used to a certain reaction from women, and I'm more laid back and calm, not as responsive, and so he took it one way, but I didn't mean it like that.
So she almost lost a good thing.
Oh, and I would have cried so hard.
It's just extra.
Cried so hard.
I really don't like the clinginess and the people are being around all the time. But it got where I actually wanted him to be with me, up under me. And that was actually different. Okay.
For me, it would have to be, I would say, I didn't like it when she wasn't around. Like if she wasn't with me, I felt like something was missing. So that's the moment I knew that's the one. She was the one like that. That was rude, but she was the one.
All right, I knew she was the one based off the things that she was posting about. Originally, that's how I saw her on Facebook, so her timeline was a lot different than all the other females. She was talking about God, career, and that was pretty much it. And I love that about her. I love the energy she put out. And so when I got to know her, it was the same energy. And it was like, that's what she's focused on, God, career, kids, and that's it. And I'm like, okay, she can grow me in areas that, I may be a little childish in or, So it was her growing me. Go ahead, do your thing. Do your thing.
I knew he was the one because, number one, like how selfless he is. Normally in this generation, people are all about self. So when you come across somebody who's willing to put your feelings above their own, your needs and wants above their own, like, that's a keeper.
Come on now.
And his mindset is definitely different than what I've ever experienced. I mean, I've never dealt with anyone who didn't work a job or anything like that. So he definitely, that mindset and growing me as well as a woman, it's deep.
Bring it home.
Crazy.
Bring it home. Okay.
I knew he was the one after the first time he came over. It wasn't to my house because I didn't really know him like that, and I wasn't sure if I even liked him. A friend was like, give him a chance, because I didn't really have a legit reason not to. So we met at a friend of mine's house, apartment. So he came over and we talked. He was fasting. I had a delicious loaded baked potato with barbecue on it and everything. Heated it up, was eating it, offered him some, and he said no. And I jokingly was just like, oh, you too good for my food? And he's like, no, I'm actually fasting. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Wasn't trying to tempt you with my food. I can put it away and eat, after you leave. And he's like, no, it doesn't bother me. I made a commitment to God. If I make a commitment, I'm going to keep that commitment, and I'm not going to be tempted by the food that you're giving me. And I don't know if you brought this analogy up, just like if I was married and I'm tempted by, if I'm married and there's other females out there, if I make a commitment to my wife or the person I'm married to, I'm not going to, go off and try to be with these women.
For me, it was, I liked her right off, and so that wasn't a thing for me, knowing that she was the one. I had to have confirmation from the man upstairs. So I prayed. We had probably been dating for maybe a month and a half, and I prayed about it, and God told me yes. And I then prayed again, and God told me yes. And then I prayed again, and God told me yes. So I was like, okay, I just wanted confirmation that I'm not just acting impulsive on my own, that I'm actually making the right decision to pursue her in that particular way.
Two.
Well, 2 at this point, because we got Nino.
Yeah, little Nino.
2.
Combined 12.
We have 4 children.
Mm-hmm.
Sheesh.
3.
See, our culture is quite different, but I know that now things are changing a little bit. So you just can't go and tell a lady, will you marry me? And she accepts, and no, it doesn't work like that. You have to go tell your parents, and they have to go to the lady's family's house, and so that they'll make their intention known. But so he had to do that first. So I think he made his intentions known to me, but it wasn't like going down on one knee and say, will you marry me? That kind of thing. But I felt that he really honored me by telling his family, so they had to come to our house to make it formally known to our how do you call it? My parents.
So, the day of the proposal, so I assumed he was going to do it on December 25th because he had talked about it so much. But then he did it on December 27th. And so he was like, let's go to Cheesecake Factory. We've never been to Cheesecake Factory before. So we get in there and order food. He's like, I don't think I got enough. Like, well, I got you. So we went half on that. So then we left there and then we went to the lake. And I get really cold and it was cold that night. So we get out there and he's like, well, come on, let's go walk around. And I get to shivering real bad in my back. And I'm like, ooh, it's cold. You got a jacket? He's like, no, I don't got no jacket. I'm like, well, it's cold. He's like, well, we can just go home. So I'm like, okay. Me not thinking, because the lake is my favorite place. So I'm like, all right. So then I'm getting, you get home. You have to get dressed, get in bed. He like, well, baby, can you just sit right here on the couch for a second? Oh, sure. And then he went ahead and did it. And I'm like, okay, yeah.
So him and my best friend, Sydney, and Elizabeth, or just Sydney?
Just Sydney.
Oh, Sydney set it up. I was under the impression that we were going out because she lived in Tulsa, so we would meet every couple of months to hang out. So I was under the impression that we were going to a fancy dinner, and so our plan was to get dressed up and go to this slightly more expensive restaurant than what we're used to. And then, yeah. And I came home and he had the lights down low.
You came home?
Oh, I came to this house that I now call home. And disclaimer, it was not my home before we got married. And he had the candles, rose petals. Everybody was here. My family, his family. He almost ruined it though, because he called Sydney and her phone was connected to her car. And I was like, why is Marquise calling Sydney? That's random. And then she started acting nervous. So then I was like, So I was a little suspicious. But it was good, you got me.
We were dancing and John B, I can't remember the name of the song, who was dancing to that one. He spit me around, and when I turned back, he was on his knee. He asked me to marry him. It was cool.
We were in the living room in our apartment, and him and my oldest son, Aiden, were in there. And Aiden gave him the ring, and he was on one knee. And he said, "Oh, you marry me?"
Had to add the son in there.
Yeah, that was everything.
He was like, we were about 3 months in dating and knowing each other. I don't know if we were on the phone or if we were talking in person, and he's like, so when we gonna get married?
We were in person.
Okay. And he's like, so when we gonna get married? And I was like, what? I don't know. He's like, you wanna be with me? I wanna be with you. God has both given us confirmation that we are the ones for one another. So what are we waiting on? And I said, I don't know, maybe like a year. And he's like, why? And I'm like, because that's what people do. Like, we've known each other for this amount of time, and people wait like at least a year, right? And he's like, why are you worried about what other people do? And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. And then he talked about going to look at rings and moving forward. That's my perspective of it.
Yeah, that's what happened.
A big wedding. It was a big wedding. Like we planned for 300 people, but after we finished, the planner told me that at least 500 people showed up. It was a whole lot.
It was like, I knew like maybe 10% or less.
No, but it was, for us, it's not the individual, but your parents will invite they associate. So, and
So
then
you
it's
plan
like
for big, huge.
not for big necessarily, but if your parents or your family they know a lot of people, then you are expected to invite a whole lot.
And random people will show up too.
Your
If
family
they just hear music, especially for what you call it, refreshment and stuff like that. Oh yeah, they coming. They don't know you. They're gonna come have a good time.
No, and it's not more. It's not like a personal, but it's more like a family thing. So you might not know somebody, but because that person is related to your mom or your dad, it's out of respect that they will invite them so that they come and support you. Yeah, so that's how it is.
So there's a lot of people eventually will show up.
Yeah.
It was small. She wanted a small wedding. Just intimate wedding. First family, both of our grandparents, parents, siblings, first cousins, and one friend.
Yeah, one friend. And the importance of the small wedding, because my grandma was really sick at the time and she had cancer. So we didn't know how long she had. And so it was for your grandma has dementia. So with her having dementia, you don't necessarily know what you're going to remember, how long you got. So it was really for the people that were closest to us, not for everybody.
It was supposed to be small, intimate. It turned into a big function. My husband is a very popular man around Oklahoma City. You have nothing?
I don't know why you keep looking at me for it. I don't know. You want me to refute what you're saying? Or?
No, just wanted to hear your side, that's all. But what was supposed to be small turned into over 100 guests.
I'm going to say medium in between. What we had, about 40, 50 people?
Yeah.
It was medium. It was in Armour. My mother had like about an acre in her backyard, so we had an outside backyard wedding. Seemed like everybody was there that we knew. So yeah, but it was nice. It rained, but it was nice.
Yep.
Extremely small in an office.
No wedding.
No wedding.
Probably as small as you could get. It was us, our pastor, his wife, and a friend of ours, a friend of mine, technically at that time, and they really didn't know each other, but a friend of mine that could be a witness. So yeah, very small.
Besides the good stuff. But I guess traveling and visiting places. Yeah, because she liked to go places or find a different place to go eat.
Yeah.
Random stuff.
There's so many.
You know, we like to battle it out in Mortal Kombat, speed, bowling. We like to whoop on anybody.
Down range.
Yeah.
We're both shooters.
Very competitive. So anything we can compete in. But I would say right now we're at Mortal Kombat. Ooh, hold on. We got one more thing. What else do we like to do? We like to sing and do music. That's our favorite.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like...
We forgot with the whole mic over there.
So I guess since Valentine's Day when we got that bad weather, of course I took time off. I wasn't going to work in the snow. And we spent a lot of time together. And so one day we was here making, we was just basically making each other music videos, basically singing to each other love songs and stuff like that.
Live performances, concert.
Yeah, we got the little mic stand and it was cool.
Right now, Monopoly. I know what you thinking.
Monopoly.
I know what you thinking.
I enjoy Monopoly too. I enjoy that. I enjoy
But
that a lot.
outside of marital activities, we've been enjoying a card game, Monopoly.
That's a marital activity.
No, friends can play that game.
Right, but it's a marital activity because we're married. So.
Please.
Hold on, I didn't get to answer that question. What is your favorite marital activity?
No, we do. We know what your answer is. We move past.
Don't know that. We
move past that.
Anyways, I'm gonna answer the question. My favorite marital activity is I like to be able to take walks around the neighborhood when it's nice outside. That's a good marital activity. And also, of course, all the games we play.
Yes.
There you go.
Watch movies. I be trying to make it playing games, but
It's just not
No, I don't like your games.
Okay. For me, it's not watching movies. My favorite thing to do with her. I like when we take walks. That's fun.
I didn't think about that.
I have a good time. I feel like we don't worry about anything else when we take walks together. It's more, we just talk about us and we laugh, joke, and especially with Grayson now, when we do it with him, it's just about us. I like it.
Travel.
Yeah.
That's cute.
We love to travel. You like that? Yeah. Try to do what you can.
Travel.
Unity.
I have to think about this. Yeah, unity.
One word.
I would say security.
I say my word for marriage would be sacrifice.
Partnership. Or can I do / teamwork?
I would say teamwork. Yeah, same thing.
Copycat.
It was just a great answer.
An experience.
Patience.
Marriage is friendship.
Marriage is sacrifice.
Commitment.
She stole my word. Commitment. Yeah.